Welcome back to Crazy X Podcast. It's been a while. Today, we watched Season 2, Episode 2, When Will Josh See How Cool I Am? As always, we'll start off with a synopsis. Paula asks Rebecca to write her a letter of recommendation for law school, but Rebecca is distracted trying to make herself a ping pong champion to spend time with Josh. Meanwhile, Greg tells everyone about his alcoholism, and Josh, unable to hold it in, tells Greg about him and Rebecca. When Greg is late to an event, everyone is worried that he's fallen off the wagon. Rebecca finds him and realizes what she lost, and that Josh might not be exactly what she's looking for. Roger, what do you think of this episode?
Half good, half bad.
Okay.
There's some real character growth with a couple of our characters. There's also some really funny moments that, click and make sense. And then there's the Rebecca parts.
I think it's interesting that you don't think Rebecca had any character growth in this episode.
Let's get more to that, because I don't know that is my theory. It's more so what the fuck took you so long to realize what all of us have very clearly seen from round one. And she's also doing a thing that I get really frustrated that she's done many times before.
Sure.
But yeah, I would not say she is devoid of character growth, but I would say certainly Greg's character growth is much, much, much greater than Rebecca's.
I completely agree about the character growth and frustrating things that Rebecca does, but I think the real shining star of this episode is the fucking banger songs in this episode. All of the songs, bangers.
For one, sometimes we only get 2 songs in an episode. Mm-hmm. This one we got three and a half. We got a quick, and actually almost 4 because we got a reprise of I Have Friends.
That happens a lot, though.
It does, but even It Could If I Wanted To was very quick.
Yeah, it was, but it did have words.
It did, but it was one verse of
it.
Okay, so do we want to start with Greg or end with Greg?
I feel like we can start wherever you would like to start, Roger.
Let's just start with Greg then. Look, love this Greg. I love self-aware, acknowledging that I have a problem. Doesn't do the stupid thing where he tries to hide it and be secretive, and he's just like, hey, we're gonna come out with it. I actually like that he's more normal about it than everyone else is, except he thinks it's a shock when he reveals it, and they're all like, eh. I think he, everyone else knew whether they admitted it or not, this was a problem, and I think in his mind he had disguised it well. And everyone was like, no. Kind of like you said at the wedding, well, this is kind of what he does.
Yeah.
And then, when he goes through the... I don't know if I just called it drinking song.
It's called Greg's drinking song.
I had Greg drinking song. Yeah, you very clearly see that, oh, man, signs were there that...
Yeah.
Literally, I knock on plane doors and try to fly an airplane. You have a problem.
You have a problem. The juxtaposition of White Josh's reaction to Greg saying he's an alcoholic, where he's like, yeah, that makes sense. And Josh telling him that he told Greg about him and Rebecca, White Josh is like, what? Just the Greg being an alcoholic is a normal thing to them. I mean, I don't know that they ever would have thought to put a label on it like that before. They're like, oh, that makes sense.
They basically called him an alcoholic without using that label.
Yeah.
Well, and they've said so many times.
And I think that's actually that's a pretty common experience for friends. Because, a lot of times the way that you experience your friends, it's we go out and party and whatever. But when you don't stop and think about the things I got so drunk that TSA had to come and I can't fly on Southwest, or I stole my cousin's landscaping truck. That's not, I got drunk at a party.
Well, and also, alcoholic is, because, you could just be a sloppy drinker and party and do dumb shit, but it's not you go to it for coping reasons, whereas, I would classify an alcoholic as that, you crave it, you need it, it's how you deal with situations. If you just had a bunch of dumb, funny stories when you get drunk, I'd be like, well, you're a dumbass, you shouldn't drink, but I wouldn't necessarily call you an alcoholic, as opposed to, oh, I had a bad day, I have to have alcohol. It's you have an addiction. And I think they knew it, but just danced around it for long enough because that's just who he is.
Mm-hmm. His delivery of it too. He just tells them very quickly in 3 sentences that he speed gets out, and then he's like, "Here's some beers."
Yeah. He's like, "It's a shot, right?" Also, I think I actually really like this group of friends because it seems like a much more real friend group. You have the judgmental one. You have kind of the dumbass in Hector who's like, that's the rule? Which is amazing that he couldn't figure out the one rule. You have really the selfish one in Josh, and then you have the problematic one in Greg.
Yeah. Well, and also Josh is like the cool he was like the cool popular kid, which is like in a friend group, especially that started in high school. That makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. And Greg is also kind of like the black sheep or whatever. We would like he was like the person that he'd be cool if he wanted to. He's like the person that people would probably be like, why are they friends with him?
What is he? I'm not this. I'm sardonic and deep. He's that type of person who's just like roll-inducing. I thought he did a great job of just like coming out with it. Even not just to the friends, but even like talking with Rebecca or the conversation he has with Josh. Like, very good work with Greg. It's like, he had every right to be mad, but also he acknowledged that, like, I did fuck up. Like, I disappeared for a month. It isn't fair for everyone to basically have to put a pause on their life because I messed up. And, like, I wouldn't say that it's his fault in the sense of, like, he deserved it, but his actions led to this, right? Like, he got drunk. He realized he had an epiphany at the end that he loved. I'm assuming we see at the end of season 1 where he says, I love you too, and then at that point he decided to go drive back and tell her, which is then when he gets the DUI.
Yeah, I guess
I'm understanding the
I think that's the
situation of events.
The situation.
So I would say, overall, great job for Greg.
Yeah, I
would have loved to have seen his father here.
I also would have loved to have seen his father here because he didn't really talk about, like, his father is also an alcoholic, and he doesn't really talk about that in this context. Yes, he definitely mentions that previously.
So this is a family thing.
Yeah.
Is that why the mom left?
It might be.
Or part of the reason, sure.
And I also really liked, which is like kind of a departure from what you would expect from like a sitcom, especially. And this show is half sitcom, half drama, I guess I would say.
I would not put the percentages that high, but there's some elements of drama to it.
He doesn't actually fall off the wagon. He doesn't drink. He just, like, gets angry. And he, like, realizes that he needed to feel his feelings.
Yeah, I definitely think that we were definitely leaning towards the relapse, gonna have, like, a setback, and he instead does maybe the mature thing and realizes, like, I just need to be angry and then sad. Feel your feelings. Greg felt relatable.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Which is what I think I liked about it. Not all of our characters feel relatable in this episode. Where do you want to go next, then?
I mean, not all of us hire an 11-year-old ping pong champion to try to make us into a ping pong champion level player in one day.
Oddly enough, when I made that statement, I wasn't even talking about her, but obviously she never feels relatable. Yeah, that is...
I do want to talk about a ping pong cocktaileria and how I want to go to one immediately.
Let's go right there.
We should find one immediately after we finish this.
I agree with you. Like, they have Flat Stick Pub. I just want that.
But ping pong?
But ping pong and less beer, more cocktails.
Yeah.
Somebody make that. I'll pay.
There's that pickleball bar that our nephew-ish used to work at. It's in Marysville. Damn. There might be another one. Who knows?
We should look. I would also go to that. Oh my god, can you imagine no pickleball and drinking? There's some danger there.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
Still be in though.
Same? Okay, well, who were you referring to?
Josh.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
This is the worst episode, in my opinion, from a judging him as a person episode that I can recall off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we've watched it. But I do think that...
Because, like, with Valencia, it felt different because, like, she also was a bitch.
Okay, I actually think we're, like, maybe going to explore something deeper here, too. In that, Josh is the popular kid that never had to not be selfish.
Agreed.
And he's, like, suddenly hitting a wall in his life where he can't, like, his popularity doesn't take him as far as it used to.
He peaked in high school.
Yeah.
Very clearly. You see that when he goes to do the dance troupe.
The dance thing, and, like,
in high school.
He works at Aloha Tech, which he really likes, which is great.
Which, that's fine. There's nothing wrong
totally
with that.
Fine. But it's just that he needs to be able to at least take care of himself financially.
Much like Peter Pan, he never grew up.
Yeah.
And he's never had to because he's been the popular pretty boy. He could lean on Valencia when he needed to and her money. He's still a mama's boy. Don't think he's probably had a mature adult relationship.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to even communicate with his friends very well.
And I think that, like, in a typical sitcom, it would just be a joke. That Josh is, like, the dumb, popular kid that is selfish.
The Joey Tribbiani without the heart?
Yes. But I think that we'll get more here.
Yeah.
Like, I even think, like, at the end of the episode when Rebecca says, like, I deserve someone who treats me well, he just sort of has this, like, it didn't even occur to me. And I'm not trying to say that Rebecca doesn't deserve any blame in the situation that they're in, but he does treat her like shit, and he treats himself like shit, and his friends.
I feel like treat like shit is the wrong term, because when I think of treat like shit, I think of I yell at you, I manipulate you, I do things actively to try to be, I would say he is more neglectful.
Yeah.
Which is shitty, but it's not with intent, it's just more so... It's like the difference between cheating on someone and just being absent. Like, one is an intentional move, and the other one is like, oh, I just didn't think about you at all.
Well, and I also think that, like Paula has said that, like, she's addicted to, like, her relationship with Rebecca, I think that Josh is, too, in a different way. Like, he's addicted to the way that she makes him feel like the most important person in the world, but he doesn't want to do any of the other things that come along with, like, being with the person that you think is the most important person in the world. Like, he doesn't want to be officially dating her or officially living with her, even though he does.
I mean, objectively, should he?
No, I mean, they definitely should not be living together, but you also can't pretend like you're not living there when you are living there.
Totally. But I mean, like, if I came to you and described Rebecca as my girlfriend, you would be like, no!
Yeah.
Do not date that person.
Yeah.
What the she moved across the country for you to break? She's crazy.
But also, like, it's sort of like Arrested Development for Josh, which is, like, his biggest problem. Because, like, that's right. He shouldn't date Rebecca. And he's, like, using it. But he, not only is he, like, using her, who he knows is, like, really obsessed with him, he also is, like, using it as a way to not have to do anything else in his life.
Yeah. Because he coasts.
Yeah.
For the most part. I would say he just exists. Which, that is what he likes about West Covina, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think where I would say there's something wrong with that is that, like, Rebecca isn't like that. And also, that's why Rebecca should know better. So it's his lifestyle that he's almost forcing upon her.
Yeah. And
almost.
Josh's level of selfishness in this episode is, like, really beyond what I was remembering or expecting.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're right what you said earlier, that, like, it's not really cool to, like, date your best friend's ex-girlfriend without telling him, like, before they've officially broken up, especially because he's your best friend. But, like, he disappeared for a month. Like, what were they supposed to do?
It's just an ugly situation,
yeah.
And there's no, like, innocent, I did nothing to deserve this person.
But we don't need to be making Greg's alcoholism about you.
I feel like a lot of people probably watched this episode and said, wow, I came away from this thinking Josh is a terrible boyfriend. I came away from it going, God, Josh is a terrible friend.
Yeah, for sure.
Josh is the boyfriend I expected him to be, and quite frankly, he's actually always been like this. We saw it with Valencia. This isn't really anything different. I don't think I realized how shitty of a friend he was, though.
Well, and even, like, things that are, like, played for laughs and are funny. Like, when he says that he slept with Rebecca and then he admits that he slept with her more than one time and he's, like, trying to count the number of times. It's like, Josh, you don't need to brag about the number of times you've slept with Rebecca while you're just telling your friend that you've slept with Rebecca to relieve your own guilt.
But I don't think he's bragging. So that's the thing. I think he's a bit too dumb to have made that intentional calculation. I think in his mind, he's just, like... He's trying to be so honest that he's not even considering that, like, this level, like Greg says, more than once is, like, I get the point. He's like, no, I'm trying to make sure I don't keep this secret in, so I'm just, like, relieving my own guilt by telling you everything, and I'm not hiding anything anymore. Yeah. So we banged 12 times, and I'm going to make sure it's not 11, like, I'm going to tell you all 12. And it's like, dude, no one needs to know that.
And I'm not saying that it, like, they should keep this secret from Greg forever, but... If they're not actually in a relationship, then maybe we don't need to tell Greg.
I don't agree with that at all.
Okay.
In the sense of, like, Greg was in a relationship with Rebecca.
Yes.
So if you are sleeping with her, that is a problem.
I guess I mean, if it's not going to continue, if it only happened one time, you maybe don't have to tell Greg. Like, it's just over. But you definitely don't need to tell Greg while he's, like, going through an AA step program, like, literally in the middle of a meeting that you weren't invited to with another person.
I agree with you 100% on the timing. I feel like, and I'm married, so it's not something everything, but, like, if my good friend sleeps with a girl I was dating, if we're friends, you need to fucking talk to me. I'm not saying it needs to be done right then and there, but if I find out another way, you and I aren't friends anymore because you betrayed me and lied to me. And I don't even, like, Greg's point is that, like, yeah, you know what? Some of this is on me. I disappeared. But, like, you need to tell me. Josh is right on his instinct that you should tell him. It's just when he does it is definitely selfish, as Father Breath says. He's alleviating his own guilt.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I would also want to know in that situation. Not necessarily
not
in
there.
that exact moment. I actually also think, like, really big on Greg for not saying I knew it. Like, he doesn't, like, have, like, a moment where he's like, this was my worst fear, and you did it.
He does have that moment when he talks to Rebecca, because he did kind of know it. And he says it, but it's also like, yeah, I mean, I've said this before, and this is where you and I disagree. No matter what, he was always the second choice. On top of that, when he fucked up, he left the door open.
Do you still think that after the end of this episode?
Yes, that's actually one of the things I'm really disgusted with Rebecca about. I still think he is choice B, even if he is the... I think you and I prefer choice B, but I think the only reason he is choice A is because choice A didn't work. And I think that's been the problem the whole time.
Okay.
If Josh had the emotional depth of Greg wouldn't be a question. It's that Josh isn't doing the things that she likes, so now she's like, oh, I had that, I fucked up because Josh is still the dream boy. Yeah, it's just, I guess it's, we've seen a lot from Josh, and not all of it's been positive, but it never felt malicious, and it never felt harmful. Like, we talked about this, I'm pretty sure, in the last episode, and granted that was many months ago, but we were talking about, I think it was, you know, when they slept together and didn't know the status, but I was like, well, Rebecca gaslit him successfully, so, like, I'm not going to blame him. He's dumb. Like, she's way smarter than him. Her intent was to gaslight him and lie him and trick him, so he's supposed to be confused because that's what she wanted to do to him. This now is like, it's not that Greg was trying to confuse you. You just chose, after Father Broad told you, keep this to yourself, you put your own needs above your friend's needs, who you know had a problem because you couldn't live with what you did. Now I kind of think you are a selfish bastard.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So you don't think that Rebecca has any genuine feelings for Greg? Or you just think that she has less feelings for him than Josh?
I would not say that. I think she genuinely... I think on multiple occasions she has realized the value of what Greg brings to the table. And I think the difference is that, like, in Rebecca's mind, Greg is what she needs and Josh is what she wants.
Okay. I think that's a fair assessment.
And I think when you're debating... I hate to say it, settle for me is exactly how I think she looks at him. He is the better guy, other than the alcoholism and the anger and all that other stuff, which is important. But, like, he is the more emotionally mature person. He is what she needs out of a partner. But she wants Josh to be that guy.
Except when he apologizes to Heather about... I love that Heather was, like, totally fine. She was like, you don't have to apologize to me about the situation. Like, I'm past it. It's fine. But then she's, like, so offended. She's like, you don't have to apologize, but if you're going to apologize about something, it better not be fucking French fries.
What is sad is that very much the way that I look at Greg, Rebecca, and Josh, Greg is to Heather as Rebecca is to Greg. Heather is most certainly better for Greg. Mm-hmm. And Greg, no matter what, will always go to Rebecca over Heather. Yep. Always. Even though it has no logical... Like, that is this... And, like, he doesn't even realize what he did wrong.
Well, and interesting...
She even says, you kind of screwed me over.
Yeah. Interestingly, like, Heather and Josh both have, like, an Arrested Development situation going on, but Heather is so much smarter than Josh that it, like, doesn't present in the same way.
Heather is aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
I think Josh is, like, the lights are off, and then, like, some sparks of flicker come through, and he's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Though, I will say, he may not be as dumb as he lets on, because he knew she was lying about ping pong, obviously.
Yeah.
Which, that's another... Like, I know that's the sitcom trope, but, like... That's not funny.
It was Rebecca, like, pretending to be something that she's not just to get his attention was not great. I like that, like, she figures that out in this episode.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, like, obviously she knows that she doesn't know how to play ping pong, but I don't, like, she doesn't really say the, so I could spend time with you until she, like, kind of has a realization at the end of the episode.
But it was, she does the thing that her and Paula do where they scheme, and she comes up with this dumbass scheme about the I'm a national champion as opposed to, like, hey, you're busy all the time, let's just pick a night that we can hang out. Or, I'll come to the ping pong bar with you just to drink with you, and I don't care about ping pong, but I don't need to fucking play.
Yeah.
Instead, she decides to go in this insane, and I know that's part of the sitcom trope, but you're just like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I also love that the 11-year-old boy, like, literally calls her out on it at one point. He says, like, if it's really meant to be, you don't need to manufacture some fake enthusiasm about Josh's hobby. This 11-year-old is wise. He should hang out with Chris.
Shut up and listen to my wise reprise. Let's just get out of the way. Let's get to Rebecca.
Yeah, I mean, same thing about, I agree about we've seen this before. This has literally happened before. And not just in this show, in many shows.
Many shows. Common sitcom trope.
And I knew Rebecca wasn't going to write that fucking letter for Paula, and that sucks.
But is it out of character?
No, it's not out of character at all. I do think that she gives 2 genuine apologies in this episode that she actually means.
I think she means them... What's the way to say it? I think everyone has the best of intentions when the shots aren't being fired. I think the problem for Rebecca, though, is that when things get real, she will always prioritize trying to get Josh over doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. And we've seen it time and time and time. You know, like, I think there's the episode where Paula needs to get her kid unexpelled. And she's like, yeah, but I need help, you know, with whatever scheme. And you're just like, the fuck is wrong with you? Josh can wait.
Yeah.
Go help her. I mean, she's a bad friend. Like, I've said it many times. She's a terrible friend. And what's even more sad is that, like, the Paula Scott conversation is so illuminating where she is making every excuse for Rebecca. And I'm just sitting there like, you sound like an abused wife right now.
And then she said that asking for a letter of recommendation was asking too much of her friend.
Yep. I mean, I hate to say it. She reminds me of, like, he hits me because he loves me. Like, it's like she ignores you because she's too busy. She's spending... I don't know how many billable hours studying ping pong with an 11-year-old. She's got time.
Yeah, she's definitely got time for this.
Daryl was adorable, by the way.
Daryl was really cute. Him, like, sticking the letter under the door and then pulling it back and then spoiling Game of Thrones for Rebecca.
Ned Stark dies.
But he's the show.
Don't get too comfortable with Rob, either. Yeah. I also think... I think you and I see Rebecca and Josh a little bit different. I think you see Josh as the bad boyfriend who's bad for Rebecca. I think I see them as a bad couple who make each other worse. They're both extremely toxic, in my opinion.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that Josh is bad for himself. He doesn't know who he is as a person, and he is a bad friend, bad boyfriend, bad...
I don't think he's bad for himself. I do think he's bad for everyone around him.
Yeah,
other than Josh and Hector.
I just don't think he, like, knows... He's lost.
I don't think he is, though. I think he's actually content. And I think that's the thing that doesn't jive with Rebecca. He is just content to live the rest of his life doing exactly what he's doing right now. He's not ambitious. He's not driven. He doesn't want to do a 30-year mortgage. He doesn't want to get married and have kids. He doesn't want to have a house. He just wants to be. That's why he likes West Covina.
I guess that's a good point. And, like, I know we've established that Rebecca moved here for Josh, but she was... Like, the thing that caught her was he's happy. He's just happy. Like, I want to go where the happy people are.
I know you believe that. I really do.
All right.
Yeah. I think you're right in that she sees Josh as, I will be happy because he is happy. But I think she thinks that's like the happiness will transfer. If Josh is happy and I am with Josh, we will be happy. As opposed to, he's happy in West Covina. If I move to West Covina, I will also be happy, which is really what Josh was saying. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Rebecca thinks she will be happy. Because when Josh decides she's not going to be with her, she's about to go move back to New York. Like she just takes off in that Dreamgirls episode or whatever.
Dreamgirls episode. That's nice. Good job.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the songs?
Yeah.
As I said, bangers all for different reasons.
Let's talk about Maybe the Stream.
Yeah.
Okay. So Snow White, very, obviously we do another podcast where we do fairy tales. So I immediately clocked this as a Snow White song. The singing, what I did not anticipate. That shit was foul.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of the song, that the lyrics and the presentation of it don't in a very funny way.
Yeah.
And
even the lighting, when you look at it going back, it has a brown sepia lighting. It's not very bright and colorful.
Yeah.
It's almost sewage looking.
Apparently Donna Lynn Champlin asked for a Disney princess song.
I remember
that
you
was
said
her
that.
request.
That's amazing.
And this is what they came up with, and I could not be happier about it. And it also is it's still a meaningful song about a reflection of her feelings.
Mm-hmm.
She feels like she's not allowed to have a dream, and someone always shits on it. Mm-hmm. Literally.
First off, I've never heard of poop cramps.
Oh.
Never had that. I've never been constipated.
Yeah, poop cramps are... Well, they're not... It's not always... Sometimes it's diarrhea. When you have excessive... You've never had poop cramps.
No.
That's definitely a thing.
I poop. It's how people have insomnia? Oh.
Well, it's the feeling when you poop and then you still feel like you have to poop. It's terrible.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's not a thing that happens. I'm not saying not a thing. I'm just saying I have never experienced that.
Or when you have to poop but you can't.
Never experienced that either. If I have to poop, it's coming. The part that she talked about was she's uh-oh, gotta go home. I've experienced that. Hey, it's a race to the finish. Yeah, boy, but you can't really sprint, because if you sprint, that's gonna lose you, so
you gotta keep it tight.
Yeah.
Keep it tight.
Tight but speedy. Yeah. Or God, what does she say? I've had 2 children, so she couldn't I've heard that women after giving birth can't hold their pee in as well.
Yeah. That's accurate.
That's fucked up.
So
I was eating breakfast while we were listening to that, and I was oh, not hungry anymore. Funny song though, amazing. Yeah. Set the tone.
She has a good she didn't. I mean, her voice sounds different. She didn't sound like a lounge singer. Mm-hmm. She sounded like a Disney princess.
It also reminded me of Face Your Fears in that this song feels sweet, but it's fucking unhinged.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. It's not even my style of music, but I was that's a great Disney song. Well played. But Disney with a psychotic twist. And then we get to Greg's drinking song.
Yeah, I love that they changed the costumes to be Irish pub 1800s costumes.
So good. So fucking good. When you hear the stories, you really understand. And I've said this before that I thought Greg had a problem. Paula clocked him properly as an angry drunk. I don't think I realized how much of a drunk he was. So I figured he was a guy who goes out to the bar, gets drunk, comes home and passes out. I did not think he would steal his friends' cars.
Yeah.
Got kicked off of Southwest Airlines, puked on his cat, gets a this isn't even funny alcoholism. This is... You have a real fucking problem. I shit my pants is what they were originally going to say. And I had to change it to I pee my pants.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's sad.
It is a sad... I like that the song... the song is very catchy. Mm-hmm. It's funny. Mm-hmm. But also it's really sad. And I actually think that it does provide a pretty good description of what it's like to be an alcoholic. He has that line when he says scotch with a steak, 1 glass of wine and you're barely awake. For me, it's much different what happens when I try to have 1 and it turns into 10.
West Wing, Leo talks about that.
Uh-huh.
He's I don't understand you people. You just want a drink. I want 10 of them. Mm-hmm. And that's the first thing I thought when I heard that. Also, I liked the song because I feel for a lot of people, we were talking about when we were describing the partying, we see it as the outside as an Irish drinking song, while in reality, he's living through hell.
Yeah.
So it's to us, we're just partying and having a good time, and whatever, he's a sloppy drunk, not really realizing that this guy's fucking suffering.
Yeah.
His father knows that he's suffering because his father goes through the same thing.
Well, and also, if you think about how we've often talked about the songs as I mean, I know Rebecca's not in this scene, but, like, the musical in Rebecca's mind.
Yeah.
Like, Greg is telling his friends these things.
Mm-hmm.
He's not singing them.
Mm-hmm. And they know some of these things because they were like, oh, yeah.
They just thought about it differently.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It also... So when I listened to this, my first thought was, wow, this really kind of makes me hate Rebecca more. Because as a reminder, she went to find him to break up with him during his Alcoholics Anonymous meeting.
Yes, she did.
She's objectively a terrible person.
I
didn't love Ping Pong Girl, I'll be honest.
Oh, I really like Ping Pong Girl.
I think it's I think it's catchy. I actually like the tune. But it definitely kind of gave me that eye roll and like, oh, this is her fantasizing about what a guy she wishes a guy would say in a song like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, as a woman, I think it's very funny to think about what women want men to say.
Yeah.
As a guy. And as a like, an expression of why Rebecca acts the way that she does.
Yeah.
Like, she wants him to say that he wants to get a 30-year mortgage with her. I also just love some of the, like, weird random things that he says in the song, like, bros, beer, sports.
Which is often how I assume a lot of you ladies classify men. This is how you guys talk. You go talk about your bros, and you have some beers, and you watch sports. It's like, yep, we are all one-dimensional cavemen.
I also love the visual gag in the song that he sings that, like, Ping Pong Girl trumps flight attendant as a fantasy, and then she's playing ping pong with a flight attendant.
Which is hilarious, because I'm like, the flight attendant's much hotter. We're not even in the realm of discussion. But in Rebecca's... Also, I did not think that gold dress was flattering on her, which made it even more funny. It also was just a bad dress, in my opinion. Like, it's not even a her thing. Like, that just is...
I know, I was trying to... If it was, like...
Helen of Troy?
I don't know.
Okay.
Or is it, like, a spoof on somebody's, like, famous sports costume? I don't know.
Serena Williams has famous catsuit. I don't think it was a... Yeah, and, like, some of the other things, what was it? They had a thing where it was like, this does not threaten my masculinity. I was like, yeah... Does that threaten guys' masculinity? Maybe that's a thing, a girl being great at ping pong, but, like, whose masculinity would that threaten?
I think that you are so unlikely to feel threatened. Like, your masculinity doesn't feel threatened. I think a lot of men feel threatened by women in many instances.
I think a lot of women think that, and I don't think you know enough men to know that to be true.
You think I don't know enough men?
Yes.
Okay.
Gay men don't count for this scenario, also.
Okay.
Well, it's different, right? Like, I don't think it...
I don't know that many gay men.
You don't know that many men, do you?
I think I know a lot of men. I mean, probably not as many men as you know, but I think I know...
I would say that you probably know a very specific type of man. How about that? Like, it's not like you know any conservative men.
That's true.
Well, that's half the country. We can rule out 50% of the country right now that you don't know.
Well, I also don't know a lot of men that don't live where I live.
Also true. Yeah, so you I guess what I'm saying is that, like, there's a box, and I think the guys that you know probably all fit into that box. They're all white, they're all extremely liberal, and they're all evolved. You don't know very many cavemen.
Cavemen. I don't know many Joshes.
Do you know a single Josh? I'm the closest you know to a Josh.
What? Because you think you're dumb?
No, because I'm athletic and I know sports.
I know sports. I know sports.
Like...
Sports are good.
Yeah. Me, Jake, Jesse. That's your sports friends right there. That's the whole list. Anyway.
Do you have anything else before we talk about some lines?
Oh, yeah. I got many things on the side characters.
Please.
Heather wishing her ex to rest in peace. Oh, he died? No, but I want him to. One of the more savage lines you've ever heard, but also, like, if I said that line and I had to say, who said that, you'd be like, that sounds like Heather.
Heather.
Yeah.
I also loved her delivery of, I heard you finally figured out you're an alcoholic. I'm happy for you.
When she said that, it was kind of like, everyone else really knew. Like, I think Heather knew probably the fastest, but, like, I'm glad you finally figured it out means I've been there a long time.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this, but I just love Scott and Paula now. Like, he's a really good counterpoint to Paula.
He's so supportive of her dreams to be a lawyer.
Well, that's what a good friend does.
Yeah.
We can't skip White Josh. White Josh was excellent in this episode. First off, I appreciate White Josh because I am also White Josh, and that
you are so much White Josh.
Friends do not tell me things because I'm judgy. And I've told them, don't tell me things unless you want me to judge you. Also, don't tell me secrets because I will forget it's a secret and tell everyone. So, just lie to me. I love that they especially, not only do they say, because he gets mad when he finds out that Hector knows.
Yeah.
And he's like, you told Hector it's not me. And it's like, well, you're kind of judgy. He's like, you're Judge Reinhold. He doesn't even hold back. And I'm like, yeah, White Josh, you are judgy. Which is funny because he's not very judgy of Daryl. Even though Daryl does objectively dumb shit. Like, he's not judgy, but he is judgy of Greg, appropriately so, and judgy of Josh.
Which is interesting, actually. That is a stereotypical gay man trope, to be judgy. But he's judgy, like, he's different. Josh is white. White Josh is very different than gay men are typically portrayed on television.
The sitcom gay man stereotype.
Yeah.
Like Jack, for example, or even Will.
Yeah. Like, he's kind of a sassy gay friend, but not in the same way that you would expect.
He's a sassy gay bro.
Yeah, he's a sassy gay bro.
I
also love that they told him that Rebecca thinks that he looks like a buff chipmunk, and he just sort of accepts that. And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, shut up, chipmunk. Chipmunk? Yeah, well, you're kind of like a buff chip. I'll take it. And then I was like, he does kind of look like that.
Yeah, he does.
I also like that, so, for the most part, he's a bro. He looks like, dresses like a surfer, all those things. But then he says something to him and he goes, oh, is that too judgy for you? And I was like, that's the gayest thing you've ever said. Like, that was just like his angry sass came out and I was like, White Josh is hilarious.
I also loved, good job, you horny monsters.
That's what it was. He says, yeah. But again, he's not wrong. Like, nothing he really says is wrong, but like, it's just the way he says it is so judgmental. I'm just like, I understand why they didn't tell him. But also, he's right.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, like, when you think about, he's the one who finds Greg passed out at the wedding and is the one that tells Rebecca, yeah, this is just what he does. Mm-hmm. So that means Greg has probably also known that Josh has probably been like, dude, what are you fucking doing? He's like, I don't want to hear it right now.
Yeah.
And, I get it. That was it. Just did not want to skip White Josh.
No, I think that's great. I love it. We talked about most of the lines I wanted to talk about in this conversation, but Father Bra, we didn't talk about Father Bra, who is excellent in this episode, as usual. He's really good at advice. So smart. This is just funny, because it's true, and I've never thought about it before. Boba is a drink that you eat.
That's one of my top lines. Because he gives grace, and I was like, you give graces before drinks? That's not a thing I do, but like I just assumed it was like dinner, lunch, maybe breakfast. I don't know.
It's a drink that you eat.
A drink that you eat. How many lines do you have? I have 6, but we've already talked about...
I only have one more. We already talked about all my other lines.
You do your line, and I'll do mine.
At the beginning, when Rebecca makes dinner for Josh...
What was it called?
Kugel? Noodle Kugel.
Never heard of that.
It's delicious. Bubby would have hated you. She was really racist. It was a long time ago, but still wrong. Hilarious.
I have a friend who, I remember when I met her, because her family's from the South, and I was like, how racist is your family? He's like, oh, if I brought home a black husband, I'd be written out of the will. This conversation was less than 10 years ago.
Oh, yikes. Yikes.
Luckily, I wasn't trying to date her, but I was just like, cool. We're still here. Rebecca describing the reasons why she hates football, and I put women in quotes because of the women I know who hate football, they usually use similar language to that. Like, it's violent, and it's kind of stupid, and, and I know you have reasons why you hate football, but it takes over Sundays, and I'm just like, this is all of the women who hate sports ball usually use the things that Rebecca said. Hilarious.
My favorite part was when you asked me if that's why I hate football, and then I just said... I mean, yeah, but the main reason I don't like it is that I just don't like it.
Yeah, no. But you often will give reasons that are not real reasons why you don't like it, because, like, if things you liked did those things, like Game of Thrones took over Sunday, you're like, yeah, but I like Game of Thrones, so I don't mind that the entire world shuts down while Game of Thrones is on. But when it's football...
Game of Thrones also typically took an hour, and football is all day.
Disneyland takes all day.
It does. It does take all day.
Paula, maybe this dream won't poop on my face.
Like a seagull at the beach?
This song was unhinged. We already talked about this one, but I want to say it again. Greg, it's a shock, right? Like Josh, We already talked about Boba's drink that you eat. Hector, I don't know the rules. White Josh, there's one rule!
There's one rule.
There's one rule, man! Don't give an alcoholic drink. Seems like an easy rule to figure out. Literally, if you
That's
ask
one of
me,
my favorite moments.
Oh, it's just so good. The line that I think encapsulates my feelings on Rebecca. Why are all my friends in love with this girl? Bruh, I don't get it either.
It really reminds me, which I can't remember how much of it you watched, but there is a scene in season 4 of True Blood where Pam says, "Why is everyone obsessed with Sookie's fairy vagina?"
Yeah! I do remember that. And I remember thinking, great. And you know what's odd? I have the same thought about Sookie that I do about Rebecca. It's like, she is too crazy and not hot enough on that scale to deal with all this bullshit.
I'm sorry, magical fairy vagina. I think that's what she says.
Yeah, I think she does. But, if Black Widow were this fucking crazy, I would pause. And you know how much I love Scarlet.
You do love ScarJo.
Rebecca's crazy is, off the charts crazy. Okay.
Favorite moment?
Well, we gotta go to top song. Oh, no, we have to.
Now we do that after.
Yeah, you're right. 2 questions. Why did Paula think Rebecca was going to prioritize her?
I think she just wanted it to be true.
I get it, but I think the correct move was, Daryl, I'll take this letter, and when Rebecca inevitably lets me down, I will turn yours in.
Yeah.
Which we both knew was coming.
Yeah.
And then, you brought up this point earlier, so I want to circle back to this. It's not that I don't think Rebecca doesn't have feelings for Greg. I do feel like Rebecca has a bit of, he loves me not.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment Greg says, you know what, Josh makes you happy, let's separate, she's like, I want Greg. Mm. She's done this 3 times in the season 1. It's like, when she has Greg, she wants someone else, other than the wedding, which I would argue he pushed her away a bit with the not committing. But usually she's like, I want Josh. I want Josh. Oh, I got Josh. Now I want Greg. It's like, do you just want what you can't have? Is that really what this is? But yeah, she does seem to be mostly interested in Greg when she doesn't have Greg. Okay, favorite moment. There's just one that rules them all. Judgment to White Josh.
As I said, I used, dude, I don't know the rules. There's one rule.
There's only one rule!
But
and Greg's epiphany.
Yeah, I have Greg's epiphany here, and I love that he actually got the donuts. He just didn't go to AA.
Yeah.
And I really liked when he said, it was actually good that I punched the wall. I had an emotion, and I didn't use alcohol to block it.
And I like that they didn't do the stupid trope of automatic relapse the moment things get bad.
100%.
Now, even if he does relapse at some point, that's fine, but it was nice to see that he actually had some meaning. I bitch about Rebecca often loses the plot by the end of the episode. Greg didn't. Yeah, he had a setback in the sense that, that emotionally sucked ass, but, he felt his feelings and dealt with it.
Favorite song?
This was easy.
Okay.
Greg's drinking song.
I also chose Greg's drinking song.
I like Irish tunes like that. I love a good bar song like that. Also, the juxtaposition of how funny it was, but how tragic it was, I thought worked really well. The outfits were great. The side characters in this were great. I really loved it. Maybe this dream was good.
Yeah. I had a hard time choosing the songs in this episode because I think they're all good for different reasons, but I think Greg's drinking song is definitely the catchiest of the bunch that I...
Yeah. Pink Cone Girl is catchy.
It is catchy. But I think I know every word to Greg's drinking song. I will listen to this one, just for fun, not if I'm just, trying to get into the show. And I mentioned that line earlier about I try to have one and just turns into 10. And I think it's, actually a really meaningful representation of alcoholism.
I also think this is probably the song that has replaced Settle for me, and Could If I Wanted To is what I probably think about with Greg.
I also think about the What'll It Be song, the Billy Joel Piano Man-esque song that he sings.
I know that song, but I don't recall what that's talking about.
He feels trapped in West Covina. He feels like he got stuck here. I think it happens after his dad goes into the hospital and he can't leave.
Yeah.
And he just...
The piano in the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's before he decides to go to night school, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think I assumed he solved that problem by going to night school. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't as in case. I also... So that was an interesting song, not to sidebar too much, but because I think he was trapped in a bit of a fictional prison. Mm-hmm. And like kind of what Heather was like, oh, you're terrible, they're awesome. And in his mind, they were terrible and he was awesome. It's like, you created this awful family life, and in fact, your family's both awesome, not ashamed of you, and would have helped you. Yeah. You're just kind of a dumbass.
Yeah. My other favorite line from a song is when Josh says, "Let's share a Costco card" in Ping Pong Girl.
I think I've referenced this with you before, but in Young Sheldon, they do a thing where the mom like starts writing romance novels.
Okay.
So she's doing like almost like this where she does like a cutaway sequence. And so she's in the boat, one of those romantic canoes, and she's got like the male protagonist in the boat with her, and he's like, I want to be intimate with you, but only after we've explored ourselves completely emotionally, and I want to make sure you're okay with it. And you're like, oh, this is a woman's fantasy. Like, it's just like that. Like, no man obviously talks like that in real life because that just sounds ridiculous. But like, I want to have a Costco card with you. I don't think any man's ever said that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Could be wrong. Or, I want to have a 30-year mortgage is not a rock song lyric.
It's definitely not a rock song lyric. I agree with that. Which leads me into my most ridiculous moment, which is the song Ping Pong Girl. I just love the presentation of a song from a woman's perspective. And it is the like tone and some of the things that happen in the song, like the bros, like there's literally lines in Blink-182 songs where they just like yell words. Just words.
I mean, it reminds me very much, like I said, of Scotty Doesn't Know or Blink-182. It's also like, it is how I hear a lot of women describe men. And
yeah.
I'm like, yep, I guess if you describe a man, like the same way that men describe women often as one-dimensional characters, like, she's crazy or she's this or she's that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, dudes, bros, beer, sports ball. Like, yeah, okay, totally. Makes sense.
What's your most ridiculous?
I had 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Whoa, yay, okay, hey, whoa, bro, beer, sports. That's literally the lyrics you're talking about.
Yep.
Makes total sense. Ridiculous moment number 1. Hector doesn't understand the one rule.
He still doesn't even get it after White Josh says it. It takes him like hours.
Oh, that's why. You're just like, holy fuck.
Hector.
Literally, bruh. Greg's drinking stories.
Yeah.
Like, not the fact that he's an alcoholic, the fact that he's banned from Southwest because he thought he should fly the plane.
And he had sex with a bush.
Yeah, that is yikes.
Yeah, that is actually really frightening.
And then, of course, Rebecca now wants Greg.
Yeah.
Of course she does. I have a lot of losers, a lot of winners.
I have 2 losers and 1 winner.
3 and 3 for both.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I take that back. 3 losers, 2 winners.
Okay.
Though I could be talking.
Oh yeah, I too have 2 winners. Well, yeah, I have 2 winners.
Paula would be my question mark as a loser. Not because of anything necessarily that she did other than one thing. It's the fact that once again she was let down by Rebecca and she was arguing Scott. Like, she doesn't see how bad Rebecca is as a friend. And I think that's the part that disappoints me about her. Like, yes, she's doing the right things, but, like, she really thought Rebecca was going to come through for her. Like, legitimately believed that she would do what she asked. And then, like, defended it to her husband when it's very obvious to anyone else that, like, Rebecca just disregards you when she cares about herself.
Okay, I actually just added Paula as a winner. She was the person that I just added. And I don't disagree with what you said.
Yeah.
But I think 2 things in this episode make Paula a winner.
The law school application?
Yes, specifically because she felt like the reason that Rebecca wouldn't write her a letter is because Rebecca didn't think that she should go to law school, and she still applied anyway, which is actually like kind of not in Paula's character to do that. Like she decided to like believe in her inner voice and like follow it. And she did not help with any of the shenanigans. She didn't help her with any scheming at all. She didn't help her with the ping pong thing. She didn't help her find Greg. She didn't do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, love the progress there.
It's baby steps.
I'm a little disappointed, though, that she was so bothered that Rebecca might not want her to go to law school? Like, that shouldn't matter that much.
It shouldn't matter that much, but I also can understand why it does. One, you want your friend to believe in you, but also, like, Rebecca is a very good lawyer that went to a fancy law school.
We keep hearing it. And yet all of the evidence points to me that she's kind of a bad lawyer. But she wins a lot.
She's a bad employee. I will give you that for 100%.
Remember the jury case where she has the evidence and still loses?
That's true.
She's a bad lawyer.
That's true. But she was almost made partner at a New York law firm.
I know.
She's a good lawyer.
She's obviously talented. She's just distracted, shall we say. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I think professionally and educationally, Paula won. I think from where she's at an emotional standpoint, she's still too dependent upon Rebecca.
I think that's fair. All right, you said you had 3 losers.
I do. Josh?
Yeah, I definitely have.
Heavy loss here, Brent.
Like, the most selfish of selfishness.
You have moved to in many ways I think you and Rebecca are bad for each other, but you're also the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Rebecca, because I'm just going to basically pencil in Rebecca for the rest of the season until she actually starts to show me something that means she's a better person. And I've yet to see evidence to show that she can be. In fact, she can't even be there for Paula. When Paula spent all of season 1 dropping everything to help her, for some selfish reasons, but still did, you can't write her a fucking letter?
Yeah, I was really mad that she didn't write the letter before 2 a.m. Like, it was bad enough that she wasn't going to do it until 2 a.m., but based on what we saw occurring in that episode, there was no reason that she couldn't have written it immediately after she got home from finding Greg on the bench, which I assume was not at 2 a.m.
She could have also literally just done it while she's at work.
Yes.
Not like she really could just fucking ping pong. So I think it's just like you're a fucking shitty friend. Like, there's no way around it. Like, she's a terrible friend to Paul. Like,
I did think that the apology that she gave to Greg was a growth step. Like, she said,
agreed.
This is an excuse, and I'm not trying to make excuses. What I did was shitty.
Mm-hmm. I think the problem, though, is that, like, we've seen the crocodile tears so many times. She's made the same apology and not learned the lesson. So, like, is it meaningful? Like, I don't know if it'd be meaningful for me with Greg if he didn't learn the lesson, but he seems to be learning, even if it's slow. I don't know that Rebecca ever fucking learns.
Yeah. Who's your third?
Rebecca. Paula, Josh, Rebecca.
Oh, okay. You said you have 2 winners.
I do.
Okay, well, one of mine is Greg, which I assume you also have.
He is the ultimate winner of this episode.
Yeah, for sure. Who else do you have?
Yeah, horny monsters!
White Josh. White Josh is good. That's a good one. I like it.
Anytime I can get more personality out of White Josh, the better. I also like that we both got, because I think the sassy friend is helpful in sitcom tropes, but I don't need him to be, I just had it. Who's the sassy one in Will and Grace?
Jack.
I don't need a Jack. I want White Josh to still be Josh, but still have a little bit of the, you dumbasses are dumbasses. Like, so I like that we got some character growth from him out of that. He's also just funny as shit in this one. And I do appreciate that, like, he's the one who kind of checks Josh a bunch. He's like, again, this isn't about you.
Yeah.
Or like, Hector, there's one rule. Like, he seems to be the sane one in a group of friends that are all out of their mind. He's the only one that seems to be hinged.
He's hinged. He's not unhinged.
He's not unhinged.
He's hinged to the door.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure we're going to find out he's got his own weird intricacies and whatever, but, like, good job. Good job, White Josh. I almost put Father Bruh, just from, like, I told you so. But
just because he's the best.
Just because he's the best. But yeah, no, I think Greg and White Josh are my winners.
All right, yeah. Greg, 100%. I agree. Well, next time we are going to watch an episode which is titled that I think you're going to hate so much. Season 2, Episode 3, All Signs Point to Josh, or is it Josh's friend?
This reminds me of if you've ever had a friend that just keeps going back to someone who's wrong for them. And you're the friend who just, like, you don't want to be the person who steps in and says, hey, you need to break up with them, because now it's like a you or I situation. You don't want to make them choose, but you know deep down that you're right, and you're just waiting for them to get to where you're at.
Yeah.
And it's like, why do you only want Greg? And I know we disagree on this, but, like, why is it that you seem to only want Greg when he's pushing you out of his life? Also, well, is there an argument that, like, you're bad for him?
Why does Rebecca only want Greg when he's pushing her out of her life?
Mm-hmm.
She has abandonment issues because her father abandoned her.
But she doesn't only... But, and I would hear you on that if that were true across the board. She doesn't just want Josh when he pushes her out of her life. She just wants Josh all the time.
That's true.
So, I hear you on that one. Like, that totally makes sense that, like, the guy pulling away and she's got daddy issues, but, like, she just wants Josh. Josh is the dream boy.
She also has mommy issues. She seeks approval from those who are mean to her.
But he's not mean to her.
He's neglectful.
Yeah.
He's withholding. He's emotionally withholding.
But, like, not in the way that her mom is.
Her mom is
cruel.
Aggressively emotional.
Yeah, like, her mom is cruel. You went this way and you caused a lot of people lost time. You couldn't even get the job done. It's a thing a mom said to her suicidal daughter.
It's true.
Yeah. So not looking forward to the love triangle. Things I am looking forward to. I want to see... Actually, I'm looking forward to a lot more Heather, because I enjoy Heather, and we didn't get a ton of her in season 1. Obviously, more Greg. I actually kind of want to see more Scott and Paula. You know what? I want to see everyone but the main two.
Okay.
I really would be fine with an entire episode where Josh and Rebecca were off at a retreat and we got to watch everybody else. More Daryl and White Josh. More Daryl and White Feather. White Feather and White Josh. I just put that together.
They're together because they're white. Nice.
I thought Hector was used very well. Who I am waiting for to come back is I kind of want to see Valencia's take on this situation.
Well, season 2, episode 5 is called "Why is Josh's ex-girlfriend eating carbs?"
Oh. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Josh and Rebecca progress, because I wonder how much of Josh's behavior we excused because Valencia was kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy to overlook some of the things that he did that probably weren't okay because, like, she's so unlikable. But then, like, when you see it and you're like, oh, actually, you're kind of a dick, too. Like, it wasn't ever all Valencia. I don't think either one of us thought that. But, like, it's not all Josh either, because Rebecca's part of the problem. But, like, dude, you need to grow the fuck up at some point.
Well, and, like, interesting to see these people, Josh and hopefully Valencia, like, be people. Mm-hmm. Because, like, it is hard to grow up when you... I'm not saying that you can't... Like, people can't be happy if they're married to their high school sweetheart or whatever, but, like, if you're having some arrested development, like, continuing to date your high school girlfriend is probably not going to help with that.
I love that we do a show about fairy tales and you fundamentally don't believe in the concept of love at first sight. Like, the eternal goes to Disneyland all the time, likes fairy tales, has no optimism and hope in regard to true love.
Love at first sight and true love are not the same thing.
Once upon a time, I disagree with you.
Fair.
Hook would not agree with that, nor would Charming.
Well, please join us next time when we watch Season 2, Episode 3, All Signs Point to Josh. Or is it Josh's friend?
We'll see you next time.